In this video, we will be taking you on a journey through Scotland, highlighting some of the best attractions we saw during our 9-day road trip. We started by picking up our camper van by the Edinburgh airport and heading north away from the city. One of the first attractions that you'll find are the Kelpies. Two massive sculptures of horse heads standing tall along the Forth and Clyde Canal. These impressive structures are a modern marvel and can even be seen from the freeway. We soon arrived in Stirling, a historic town which is home to the iconic Stirling Castle, offering a glimpse into the nation's medieval roots. Here you will also find the Wallace Monument, a towering structure dedicated to William Wallace, a Scottish hero whose bravery inspired the film Braveheart.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
After Stirling, we ventured north into the Scottish Highlands and arrived in the little town of Pitlochry. You'll find quaint little towns like this all over Scotland, but this was one of our favorites. We enjoyed a delicious meal at the Auld Smithy pub, a traditional Scottish inn with a great selection of local beers and food. Only a half-hour away is the creepy abandoned ruins of Dunalister Estate, a mansion that you can walk right up to if you dare. From Pitlochry, we headed to Bowland Trails, a farm that offers Highland cow tours. This was the highlight of our trip as we were able to get into the fields and interact with these fluffy Scottish animals, petting them, brushing them, and even giving them a hug. After our unforgettable encounter with the Highland cows, we made our way to the coast and visited the impressive Dunatar Castle. Perched on a dramatic clifftop, this ancient fortress offers breathtaking views of the North Sea. Unfortunately, when we visited Dunatar Castle, the infamous Scottish weather wasn't on our side. Thick fog rolled in, obscuring the view of the castle. This experience reminded us that in Scotland, you should always be prepared for all types of weather. Pack layers, rain gear, and sunscreen, as you can experience sunshine, fog, and rain all in one day.
It's actually kind of nice. Just like that, it's a downpour. Ah!
We continued our journey along the coast and visited New Slains Castle. This castle is rumored to have been a partial inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula, and with the fog on the coast, this place was downright creepy. Apparently, the author stayed in a nearby town while writing his famous novel, and there are certain architectural similarities between New Slains and the fictional Dracula's castle. From New Slains Castle, we headed inland to the enchanting Craigivar Castle. This picturesque pink castle looks straight out of a fairy tale and is a popular spot for Instagram-worthy photos. After exploring Craigivar, we continued our journey further into the Scottish Highlands and embarked on the Malt Whiskey Trail. Now, before we get into this section of the Highlands, I wanted to let you know that we've created daily vlog-style videos documenting our road trip. These videos offer a more in-depth look at each day of our itinerary, including additional details, behind-the-scenes footage, and more personal insights. If you want to dive deeper into our Scottish journey, be sure to check out these videos. You'll find links to them in the descriptions below. Now, back to the Malt Whiskey Trail. This road is a must-do for any whiskey lover. We stopped at the Cardew Distillery for a tasting and learned about the art of making scotch. We were able to sample some of Scotland's finest whiskeys and appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into each bottle. You'll find a lot of famous distilleries on this road as well, so take your pick. After our whiskey tasting at Cardew Distillery, we ventured towards the legendary Loch Ness, home of the elusive Loch Ness Monster. We visited Urquhart Castle, a historic ruin perched on the shores of the Loch. It's a beautiful spot with stunning views, and it's easy to see why people have been fascinated by this mysterious lake for centuries. After exploring Loch Ness, we headed down to the town of Fort Augustus, located on the southern end of the loch. This charming town is known for its series of lochs that connect the Caledonian Canal to Loch Ness. It's a great place to relax, enjoy the scenery, and learn about the histories of the Scottish canal system. Continuing south, we made a stop at Invergarry Castle, the ruins of a 13th century stronghold. This castle is located on the property of Glengarry Castle Hotel, which offers a delightful afternoon tea experience. A charming stop on any Scottish road trip itinerary. After our stop at Invergarry, we headed west to Eilean Donan Castle, a picturesque castle perched on a small island in the Scottish Highlands. This is one of the most iconic and photographed landmarks in all of Scotland, and it was probably our favorite castle of the entire road trip. After Eilean Donan, we finally reached the Isle of Skye, one of the most beautiful destinations in Scotland. We spent 2 days exploring this island, but you could easily spend more time here. There's so much to see and do. You'll definitely want to stop into Portree, the colorful capital of the Isle of Skye, with plenty of shops, restaurants, and pubs to explore. We also made our way up to the Quiraing, which was a really scary road to drive in a big camper van.
Dear Scotland, you might need a better road for this very popular tourist spot.
This unique landscape features strange rock formations and panoramic views. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't great when we visited the Isle of Skye, and we weren't able to visit everything that we wanted to. Next time, we'll definitely be visiting the Fairy Pools, which is one of the most popular stops on the Isle of Skye. You can hike to this series of waterfalls and take a refreshing dip in their crystal clear waters. Nice Point is a dramatic headland offering breathtaking views of the Atlantic Ocean and is home to the iconic Nice Point Lighthouse. Old Man of Storr is a towering rock formation and is the symbol of the Isle of Skye and offers challenging but rewarding hikes. After leaving the Isle of Skye, we continued our journey south through the Scottish Highlands. This was some of the most picturesque scenery that we saw in Scotland, especially in the Glencoe area. If you're feeling adventurous, explore around Ben Nevis, the highest mountain in the United Kingdom. You can even hike to the top if you are feeling up to the challenge, and we've heard that the views from the summit are absolutely breathtaking. Or just explore the area around the base and stop by the Corpac shipwreck. As is the case with most all of Scotland, there are tons of castles to see in this area, but we decided to visit the ruins of Lennox Castle, a private residence that turned into a hospital that operated until 2002. After exploring the Highlands, we made our way back to Edinburgh to return our camper van. We had an amazing time exploring this beautiful country. If you're planning a trip to Scotland, we highly recommend renting a camper van and spending a lot of time exploring the Highlands, but honestly, you will enjoy every part of the country. There's so much to see and do, and traveling in a camper van is a great way to experience the true beauty of Scotland. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more travel videos.